Baggedmilk. 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 Oh, I swear, oh, Baggedmilk. And I'm hungry like Baggedmilk.
I like having Baggedmilk on the day of the game, so we can preview the matchup that's happening this evening. We got Pittsburgh in town. Baggedmilk, thanks for joining us today, my friend.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Should we be concerned about the game tonight?
I don't. Are you talking about the COVID thing?
Well, the COVID thing, about the fact that
the Oilers' defense,
the Oilers' defense is
kind of plays into the COVID thing, I guess.
Plays into the COVID conversation. Pittsburgh is starting to roll. Crosby's starting to feel. Here's what I predict, and I shouldn't be doing this, but maybe I should, because then I'll jinx them. Sidney loves playing these games with great players, right? You know, when he's got something to prove, he proves it. And I have a feeling he's going to come in tonight and score like 7 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right about Crosby. Like, he loves going in games against the best of the best, and there's no one better in the league right now than Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So
yeah, it's
going to be one of those ones where he steps up. And to Grant's point, the Oilers defense is missing 4 of their 6 starters. Yesterday, if people don't know about the COVID thing, Cody Ceci got thrown into the COVID protocol, meaning he won't play tonight. We're already missing Darnell Nurse. We're missing Duncan Keith. We're missing Slater Cuckoo. So there's a lot of guys that are having to fight above their weight class. So could this be a night where the Oilers struggle? Maybe, especially with the Penguins team that's starting to turn around. Maybe, but then again, at the same point, I thought the same. I was nervous about Saturday's game against Vegas. I thought that Vegas was going to throw everything they had at the Oilers, and they ended up doing that. But the boys played well enough to pull out a big win. So
Koskinen played well.
Koskinen played very well. And on a night when neither Connor nor Leon got a point, they got goals from guys that needed to get going, and Nuge, Hyman, and Puljujarvi. So nervous? I'm not nervous. This Oilers team is more resilient than I think we probably give them credit for, but they're going to have to play at their best to get past the Penguins, because you're right. Crosby likes to play in these big games, and going up against Connor Wednesday night hockey, they're the late game tonight. You know,
especially since Crosby kind of feels like he's a forgotten man right now in the NHL. Like he's not in your face like he used to be. The NHL doesn't promote him like they used to anymore.
That's why I'm worried about tonight's game, because he's going to, I bet you, that's what I'm predicting. And again, I'm cheering for the Oilers, but I'm predicting that Crosby's going to have like just a breakthrough night.
And it just against the Oilers specifically, it always seems like Crosby does something ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. And I think they're also a little bit frustrated from the game the other night in Calgary, where there was very little scoring, and then they ended up losing that one in the shootout. Is Ceci getting enough credit for what he's brought to the table this season? Because
he's been really quietly good. I was one of those people when he got signed is kind of a fill-in for Adam Larson, who obviously left to Seattle. I was nervous about it, but to his credit, I think Cody Ceci's kind of calmed a lot of that down. He's been steady. A lot of the yips that he almost had in when he was playing in Toronto and Ottawa don't seem to be in his game anymore. Maybe that's just a product of him being a little bit of an older guy now. He's in the back. Yeah. He's in his late 20s now. He's been in the league. He's getting some at bats in, but he's been quietly good. And I think that having him out of the lineup tonight, because like I said, he's in COVID protocol now, is going to be a big loss for the Oilers. Niemelainen is going to get a chance with his first NHL game, but I mean, when you're missing 4 of your top 6, it's concerning, especially when one of those guys is Cody Ceci and he's playing very well.
Is there an outside chance though that Duncan might actually make an appearance tonight, because he's sort of on the verge, right?
He's listed as day-to-day, but you know, with an old man like that, the old body takes time sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
Isn't he the same age as you?
That's right. That's what I mean. I know exactly how this goes.
Speaking of that, where are we at with Smith?
That is the $1 million question right now.
What happened to him?
He played 2.5 games and we haven't seen him since. And he was listed as day-to-day, and then that turned into week-to-week. And then last week there was rumors about potentially having to get surgery. Those got squashed a little bit. They're targeting a mid-December return. That's the latest news. But, you know, we've like I said, it's gone day to day, week to week, and now he's been out months. So I have no idea what's going on with Mike Smith. Again, a guy that's similar age to me. I get it. I threw my back out getting out of the shower, so I understand how this goes.
Bruins fans, for some reason, hate Jake DeBrusk. So there's that conversation again about him being traded, and the Oilers name. I mean, obviously with his connection to Edmonton. Yep. There's obviously the conversation about him coming to the Oilers. Why do Bruins fans hate him so much?
He's just, so when you look at Jake DeBrusk, he's gone from being almost a 30-goal scorer in 2018-19. He had 27 goals that year, down to 19 to 5 last year, and he's only got 3 in 18 games this year. So he's just not playing at the level that they expect from him. Mm-hmm. And this past week, he requested a trade. He thinks maybe a change of scenery will help his career out. I get why the Oilers would be interested in him. Obviously, he's a hometown kid. That kind of story plays out well here. Just look at what's going on with Stuart Skinner. But what I don't know is that Edmonton is the place for a guy who's for a reclamation project. I don't know if they're there right now. They need to win now. They can't trade for a guy who's making $3+ million that's kind of spinning his wheels.
Who might turn it around.
Who might turn around, not to mention doing it in your hometown. It just adds an extra layer of pressure that I just don't think he needs right now. And over above that, I don't know how the math works. The Oilers are pushed right up against the cap. They would have to send out like a Cassian type or something to make this work. And I don't know that they want to do that.
Well, I don't want to lose Cassian. I like Cass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although he's, speaking of the back end of your career, how old's Cassian?
He's got to be in his late. He's got to be pitching 30 at this point, I think. Yeah, he just turned 30 in January, so he'll be 31 in January.
All right, round the horn. We'll do predictions for the game tonight. Grant, we'll start with you.
I
think it's going to be a lights out.
Well, you know that I've always been a Penguins fan first.
That's why I started with you.
So I'm going to go 3-2 Penguins.
3-2.
I also want to use this time to give a shout out to Claude and Brendan Lemieux, who we've become the first father-son combo to both be suspended for biting in the NHL.
Good call.
Yep. You don't see that often.
That's very significant.
You don't see a father-son biting duo.
Yeah, that never happens.
First time.
All right. I will predict a Pittsburgh win tonight, 7-6.
Wow.
Jimmy?
4-2 for the Oil.
Okay. And Baggedmilk?
I'm going 4-2 Oil too. Me and Jimmy, we're sticking together on this one.
There you go.
Jimmy very rarely contributes to the conversation. And actually brought a score that might work.
There we go.
Right? It wasn't like 42-7 or something. All right, Baggedmilk, Oilers Nation. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having me, boys.
The Locker Room.
Brought to you by Always Plumbing and Heating.
Weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.